very good morning to all. Dear student, welcome back to the biology class. Today, in this class, we'll continue the chapter 7, diversity in living organisms. Today, here we will learn about the kingdom Animalia. But before starting your class, please be ready with your book. Come to the kingdom Animalia. These are organisms which are eukaryotic, multicellular and heterotrophic. Their cells do not have cell walls. Most animals are mobiles. So, Animalia is the organism which falls on the Animalia group are the organism. They are eukaryotic in nature, multicellular, made up of many cells, and they are heterotrophic, means they cannot prepare their own food. Their cells do not have a cell wall. They don't have a cell wall. Most animals are mobile, and most of the animals are mobile means they can move from one place to another in search of food, in search of mate, or for changing the places. They can move from one place to another. They are further classified based on the extent and type of the body design differentiations found. So again, these Animalia also differentiate or classified into different groups or different types on the basis of their body designs, and some definitions, some differentiations are found. Number 1 is Porifera. The word Porifera means organism which with holes. Okay, Porifera means the organism which are having a holes on their body. These are non-motile animals attached to some solid support. There are holes on or pores all over the body. So this organism, they cannot move oneself. They are attached to the some solid support, and they move from each place to another. They have a holes all over the body. Okay, this led to a canal system that helps in circulating water throughout the body to bring in food and oxygen. So they have a canal system, means like a pipe or drain system they have inside their body, which can help them to circulating water throughout the body and bringing food and oxygen to the body. These animals are covered with a hard outside layer or a skeleton. The body design involves very minimal differentiations and divisions into tissues. They are commonly called sponges and are mainly found in marine habitats. Some examples are shown in figure 7.12. So these animals are what? Covered with the outside, some hard outside cover, or you can say the skeleton. Their body involve very minimal differences. Their bodies are not differentiate, means they are cannot find out different parts of their body very clearly. Okay, and division in tissue also very less, and they are commonly known as the sponges, which are mainly found in the marine habitats. It's a sea. Okay, so these are the example of Porifera: Euplectilla, Cycon, and Spongilla. These are the example of Porifera. Okay, our next group is the Sclerentata. Sclerentata is also called the Chondria. These are animals living in water. They show more body design differentiation. Their body design are little bit more than the Porifera. Okay, there is a cavity in the body. They have also cavity. Cavity means like have sometimes some having the hole on their teeth. Some cavity, like some holes. Those that hole goes inside. So that is cavity in their body. The body is made up of two layers of cells. One makes up cells on the outside of the body, and the other makes the inner lining of the body. So they are made up of two types of cell. One is making the outer layer of the body, and another one is making the inner layer of the body. Some of these species live in colonies, corals, while others have a solitary like span, hydra, jellyfish, and sea anemones are common example. Some are living in the colonies. Colonies means they are living in a group, or some are living in a different separately. Okay, singles. Okay, so examples are given. Corals are living in the colony, hydra is living in a span, and jellyfish and sea anemones are common examples of these groups, Laurentata and the Chondria. Is a hydra, the sea anemone. Okay, this is the structure. Next one is the Platyhelminthes. The body of animals in this group is far more complexly designed than in the two other groups we have considered so far. So here the body of the organisms are little bit more differentiated than the other two. It is little bit more complex than the other two organisms which already we got. The body is bilaterally symmetrical. Body is bilaterally symmetrical. Bilaterally symmetrical. Both the side, if you see, it's look the similar, opposite of each other. This cylindrical and bilateral symmetrical. If you cut, both the parts will be same. If you cut in the middle, you will get the both the side like it is a mirror image of another side. Okay, so that is called the bilateral symmetrical. Meaning that the left and the right half of the body have the same design. There are 3 layers of the cell from which differentiated tissue can be made, which is why such animals are called triploblastic. This type of animals are called as the triploblastic. Okay, so I already told you they are bilateral symmetrical, means both the side, if you make it divide from the middle, the both the side will be similar design, so it is called the bilateral symmetrical, and they are also called as a triploblastic. This allow outside and inside body lining as well as some organs to be made. There is thus some degree of tissue formation. However, there is no true internal body cavity or coelom. So in this organism, no internal body cavity is there, no holes are there, or it is also called as a coelom. No coelom is there, in which well-developed organs can be accommodated. The body is flattened dorsiventrally, meaning from top to bottom. It is flat from top to bottom, which is why these animals are called flatworms, because their body is from the top to bottom, it is a flat. That's why they are also called as a flatworms. They are either free living or parasitic. They are free living, they are freely living from one in any place, or they are parasitic. They live on the other organisms for their food and life. Some examples are free living animals like planarian, or parasitic animals like liver frogs. Okay, so example, planarian is what? It's a free living, they are living freely, but parasitic are what? Liver frogs are the parasitic one. Here the example of this is planaria and it's a liver frogs. It's a tapeworm. It is also parasitic. It is living in the inside the stomach of other animals. Okay. Next one is the nematoda. The nematoda body is also bilaterally symmetrical and triploblastic. Same like a Platyhelminthes. Nematoda's body is also what? Symmetrically, bilaterally symmetrical and triploblastic. However, the body is cylindrical rather than flattened, but their body is like a cylindrical, not as a flattened. There are tissues, but no real organs. They have a tissues, but real organs are not there. Although a sort of body cavity or a pseudocoelom is present, so they don't have a true body cavity. The holes, they don't have a true body cavity, but a false body cavity is present there. Body cavity like some structure is present there. These are very familiar as parasitic worm, but these nematoda are very much familiar like a parasitic worm causing disease such as the worm causing elephantiasis, filarial worms, or the worms in the intestine, roundworm or pinworms. Some examples are shown. So elephantiasis is a disease where the swelling of the legs will cause, means the patients their leg is swelling like a elephant leg. That person cannot move from their legs. Okay, they cannot walk from their legs. So that is that is caused due to this nematoda organism that is called the filarial worm. Okay, and intestine worm like roundworm or pinworm are the intestine worm which are present inside the intestine of animals or the human beings also. Okay, so this is the male, this is the female one. Okay, this two. Next is the Annelida. Annelida animals are also bilaterally symmetrical and triploblastic, but in addition, they have a true body cavity. Annelida also what? Bilaterally symmetrical and triploblastic, but they have a true body cavity. This allows true organ to be packaged in the body structure. There is thus extensive organ differentiation. This differentiation occurs in a segmental fashion with the segments lined up one after the other from head to tail. These animals are found in a variety of habitats, freshwater, marine water, as well as land. Earthworm and leech are familiar example. So earthworm and the leech are the example of Annelida. Look here, this type of animals. This is a Nereis. Maybe sometime you have seen this one. This type of one insect is lying on the land. Okay, this one. Earthworm, maximum of you know about the earthworm. Leech, you know about the leech. So these are the what? Annelida organisms, Annelida group. Okay. So student, this much for today's class. In the next class, we will learn more about the Animalia kingdom. More groups are there. So we will learn about that. So till then, we'll finish here only. Before finishing, I will give you some home assignment questions. Do it and send me in group. Okay. So student, here is the home assignment questions are for you. Write down the answer and send me in WhatsApp group. Thank you and have a nice day.